our soul force energy is the antivirus, right? It's our love is the antivirus. So we need to inject ourselves with as much love as we possibly can right now. It's going to be really, really important for us to be the calm in the storm and to not focus on that, to know that our powerful mind creates our reality. And so just we keep focusing on the reality that we want to see. We keep visualizing, seeing ourselves dancing, woohoo, enjoy.
Let's burn the mask.
Yes, yes.
Some people get really hostile though.
Oh, some do.
Yeah.
That blush window is quite good because they actually have a policy of one person in the store at a time, which is, at least it's something compared to most places. And
Yes.
the lady there is quite nice. And there was somebody in and she said, oh, you can wait in the, whatever, and we'll tell you when it's time. And the lady that was coming out, I was like, high five. So, and that now that she knows me, because I've already told her multiple times. And she just said, oh, I know you can't wear a mask. Well, it's just, for me, it's just, maybe that's me not having the total cajones to say, no, I don't fucking want to wear a mask. But sometimes it's not always the simplest thing to go full on, full Monty. You have to, it's picking the battles.
I have never worn one. I just walk in just like I am. You're absolutely right. It does take courage. It's going to be key moving forward if we want our reality to change. I highly recommend practicing in your mind and just seeing yourself. You're parked in your car and you're about to walk into Safeway or a grocery store, and you're not going to take your mask and you're going to walk in. Feel the energy as you're walking in your mind. Feel the energy and create the reality where no one bothers you. Create the reality where the staff are saying, hey, great to see you, awesome, right? And then feel the energy and feel your energy shift as you're shopping in your mind. Shop in your mind and begin to say, hey, this is great, this is good. Yeah, and see people walking by with masks and they're not saying anything. So the more we visualize that in the knowingness, eventually when you are ready to do that physically out in the world, then you'll be surprised and go, hey, I did it. Oh my gosh, I did it. I can do that again. I can do that again and again and again and again and have no mask whatsoever. And normally we don't have to say anything. And if someone does approach you and they're angry, upset, when you're in that love vibration and you practice being in the love vibration, projecting that out, you will normally in that frequency, you will not attract anyone who's angry. They don't want to be around you anyways.
Here's the thing, if I may.
Yes.
When you go out and I guess my fear is about being judged as someone who is not compassionate towards those people that are truly vulnerable to getting sick, right? Because that's what they're saying. Well, I don't want to wear it and I don't feel at risk, but I'll do it because I want to think of everybody else. I want to keep them safe. So then when I don't wear it, then I feel like does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Like, I feel like I'm not doing my part to keep people that, could be vulnerable safe.
Well, though I think that also the people that are that vulnerable should be taking care of themselves, because where do we abdicate taking care of our own health and whatever?
I agree.
I think that's what they're using to that fear of guilt and whatever to keep you in that control, keep us all, not just you, but all of us in that control realm. It's that, and it's easy to, I have a daughter-in-law who's going to get the vaccine as soon as it comes out. And she said, are you taking it? Nope, not a chance. So it's just like, nope, we're not. But she didn't want to hear the arguments, but just like, I don't need to educate. It's her whole life decision if she chooses to do that.
Yes.
All I said was, please know what you're doing. Please go do some research and know that I love you no matter what. And, it doesn't, we can't just discard everyone that doesn't want to, hasn't woke up yet. We have to just hold the space for them to wake up. And but I think, the big thing is, what I'm feeling is it's the ones that are using the children to make their, to make the kids feel like they're going to kill their grandmother if they're not. Like that's the part that really bothers. That actually bothers me more than anything.
Yeah.
Is the indoctrination of children against love, against their natural. Yes.
Kids aren't getting to see their grandparents, or if they do, they're not allowed to hug, and they gotta stay. Yeah, no, I agree. It's terrible. But that is my struggle, is like, because I have people in my life that are vulnerable, and then so I don't even like to talk about it because I feel like they're going, well, you obviously don't care about us.
But
Yeah.
so Norma, do you consider yourself a compassionate woman?
Of course I do.
That's all that matters.
That's how I live my life every day.
That's all that matters, Norma. That's all that matters. It does not matter what other people think, because the mind virus, if they're plugged into the program of the media and the government, that's the program they're in. And they will not see anything other than that right now until they wake up consciously, right? And so this is where then, in the knowing thyself, as you know who you are as a compassionate woman, that is the truth. That is the truth of all of us, right? Who are our hearts are open. We love ourselves. We love humanity. We love our friends. So when we express from that place, that inner knowingness, the inner connection to source energy, we can then go out into the world and to know that the matrix, it's a lie. It's a lie that we're telling ourselves. When we're plugged into that matrix, it's a lie. The illusion is there, and the illusion is real to so many people. And we can look out in the world, and there's so many contradictions in the world, right? It's like, if this was a life-threatening pandemic, you would not see masks laying on the streets.
No. Everywhere.
You would not see homeless people still out there in the world, right? You would not see me, right? And so our soul knows it's a lie. We just have to convince the ego that it's a lie. And
yeah, I'm not buying into it. I know that they've just like.
But there's a part of us that can buy into it if we are not in the if we're holding back in expressing our truth, expressing our compassion and the knowingness of who we are. Because if we don't prepare ourselves for those moments of conflict, we're going to have a difficult time shifting into the new earth.
And so what do you say? What do you say to those people that are like, ah?
Well, I think there's an interesting thing is, I've actually walked into a furniture store, and I just walked to the back and I found a clerk and I said, can you help me find this? And she just helped me find it. So it's kind of, but I knew there was other people in the store that were, it's more obvious in a grocery store, especially if you go in the wrong direction. Right? It's like, I think what I do is I just beam love at them, and I don't have to have a big conversation with them. Like, that's what I'm feeling. Like, for me, it's not about me having I don't have to justify myself.
Exactly.
And I don't have to have a conversation with them. It's just like, if they want to say something about it, then it's just like, there's a small, maybe acknowledgement, I understand that's your reality, and just move on, like move away, and let they start chasing you down the aisle. But it is interesting. I remember what you're saying, Karen, is the first couple of times I walked into Costco and it's like, holy shit. It's like that whole,
yeah,
I'm doing it. It's kind of like jumping off it's like jumping off the 10-foot diving board or whatever. It's like, you won't find me jumping out of an airplane ever. And also, what is interesting, I think, is even going with a buddy, at some point having somebody that you like, just if it's what you need at first to take the courage to do something. Like
Yeah.
I've gone into a restaurant with my friend wearing a mask because she's not quite there. Because not that she isn't there, but she hasn't had the courage. So I said, well, I'm going in without the mask. You'll see what happens. And so we just got led to our table.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where all those parts of ourselves go, wow, I can do this. I can. Oh my gosh. And we begin to unlock the prison door. We realize we've had the key all along.
Well, it's never been locked.
Exactly. Right.
That is still hard. It doesn't necessarily mean it's easy because we've been
No.
programmed to behave and be good little girls and be good little whatevers. And,
Yes.
you know, I think it is probably where we have to stick together and have these conversations to say, how are you doing and how are you feeling and how do
Yes.
you deal with it? Yeah, I think it's,
And
yeah.
you might even get back to your vehicle and start crying and allow that release and allow yourself to sob in your vehicle, because that part of you will show up, and we can be sobbing for humanity and sobbing for all the children that you're talking about that are not allowed to see their grandparents. But in reality they can, but they're not free in the mind to see that there are many families who are still celebrating and never stopped hugging. They never stopped seeing their friends and families and have big family dinners and everything. So there is that reality, and that's the reality I live in. I go to my friend's house and there's big family dinners, and I'm going tomorrow, Friday, to a family dinner, and friends. It's the knowingness that is available to us right here and right now. Norma, I find that if you go to a store that you always go to, the staff there, usually the staff are extremely friendly. A lot of the staff I find are already aware, and they would not even wear a mask in my Safeway. They would not even wear a mask. The manager in my Safeway, he doesn't believe in any of it. I would only have ever got to know him through all of this, and me not wearing a mask. And so they're very kind. Most of the staff I find are extremely kind. I've only had one guy in Safeway. I said, I'm not, you can't come through my till. No, I'm going to get you kicked out of the store. Blah, 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 is going on. And the manager comes over and he's, I'll handle it. I'll take over, right? You do have a power that is with you always. When we stand for freedom, when we stand in courage, when you walk through maybe the first time in that store, you might see another person who doesn't have a mask on. And you're, yes, and you like come together and you guys might hug. Oh my God. Right, Danny?
I think that one other thing that's really important is you could be giving someone the courage to stand in what they want to do.
Exactly.
Being the example of that.
Yes.
There is that sort of piece of, what if I'm giving them permission? They may not be able to have it permission right away, but they may go home and say that she didn't seem to be worried about not having, whatever it is. And I think we have to stand up as examples of people that are, I think that's where people are more likely to just rip off the mask as well. Like it's just like at that moment, there's a choice, and they may not make it that time, but maybe the next time.
Yes. The knowingness that we can walk through any store or restaurant and without the mask and be smiling at people, to know that we're not there as a threat, to know that we're not there to judge them. The most powerful breakthrough, if you haven't done it yet, it'll be the most powerful breakthrough that you have this year, is walking into a store without a mask on. And you might fall to your knees when you get home and cry. You will feel a shift in your consciousness.
Yeah, my sons went to the mall and hate wearing them. They're not buying into all this either, but they were like accosted and just, you put it on or you leave.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think that they're targeted too because of their age demographic, right? Like they're the age that's getting blamed for everything.
Yes. Well, let's go into the divine mind conversation. So put your mask on.
Put your mask on.
That's ironic.
Okay. We're got it upside down.
This is the freedom mask.
Yes, that's too funny.
We're going to be experiencing our inner mean girl, that part of our ego that is going to create maybe those people in the store that are going to be yelling at you. So let's just go and witness, because we need to get real and confront conflict within our own mind. Because if we've never done it within our own mind, it's going to be very challenging to deal with it in the physical world. So we're going to be focusing on our breath first. Just letting go of yesterday, letting go of tomorrow. And just saying to yourself, I'm ready for a breakthrough. I'm ready to break through my fears. My fears are not real. My fears are just a program. I am a compassionate person, and that is all that matters. All that matters is how I feel about myself. I am love, so therefore I'm constantly projecting out love. I'm releasing my fear of what other people think of me. Keep breathing, focusing on your breath, letting go. I was going to take you into the Divine Mind room, but we might as well just follow through with you going shopping. So just see yourself sitting in a vehicle in a parking lot at your favorite grocery store. You're just sitting in your vehicle, the engine's idling, nice and warm and cozy. And you look out the driver's side window, you can see the store, or your passenger side, whichever side it's on. And just become aware of the energy in your body right now. And the knowingness that you're going to walk in that store without a mask on. There's lots of people in the store, lots of people. Feel what you feel, what's coming up for you. So just right now, state out loud an emotion you feel in your body right now. Keep breathing. So now you turn your engine off. You open your vehicle door and you close it shut and you begin walking across the parking lot with your shopping bag in your hand. Feel the intensity as you walk closer to the door. The door now opens. And there's a security guard or a person there wanting to wash your hands or give you a mask or whatever. And you say, no, thank you. And you just keep walking. You just broke through the first barrier. Just feel how it feels in your body to say, no, thank you. And you're walking through the store. You're just picking up, you're in the vegetable section and you're picking up your favorite vegetables. Just yourself bagging the vegetables, doing what you normally would do, breathing through the energy. So now I want you to see, it's not going to be a customer, but I want you to see your inner mean girl. It's an inner mean girl and she's approaching you. I want you to give her a voice. Give her a voice. And she's going to express to you how she feels about you not wearing a mask. She's going to judge you, criticize you. She might call you names. Allow her to say everything that she needs to say to you. And you're just going to listen and breathe. Take a deep breath. And now let her keep talking. But while she's talking, you're going to be thinking in your mind, going, oh my, she's really hooked into the matrix. Oh my, she's really plugged in to the illusion. Oh my, she's in fear. Oh my, that's my inner program. Just keep breathing. Allow yourself to stand in the energy. We never want to run away from this energy. We want to stand in it. Allowing for that inner mean girl to express, because she's the collective of all the meanness in everyone else. That's what she represents. She represents the unhealed wounds of humanity. So it's usually our inner critic that is holding us back, because we on some level believe what she's saying. So now what I want you to do is, she's going to listen and you are now going to say to her, I am reclaiming my power. I am reclaiming my personal power now. I am not allowing fear to dictate my life. I am not allowing the judgments of others to dictate how and who I am to be. I'm reclaiming my feminine power to stand tall, because I am a compassionate woman. I am courage. And I'm choosing right now to love myself. And as I love myself, then the world can begin to love itself. Just breathe, and you can say whatever you want to say to her now, whatever comes up for you. Just take your time, claiming your power here. And then I want you to see her walk away. Breathe. Now you continue to another aisle and you pick up some more groceries. And you go to the register and the cashier says, hello, and your name. Did you get everything you needed? And you're, yes, I did. And you have a big smile on your face because you're feeling really empowered. Pay for your groceries. See yourself walking out the door, walk into your vehicle, opening the door, sitting in the driver's seat. And you breathe a sigh of relief. I did it. I did it. And you kind of jump for joy and do like a little happy dance in your vehicle. You may even cry. And you say to yourself, I am so proud of myself. And you look in the rearview mirror and you say, I love you in your name. And you say to yourself, you got this. On the count of 3, you can take the blindfold off. So 1, bring yourself back into the room. 2, bring yourself back into your body. And 3. Would anyone like to share?
I could share.
Larry?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
She was speaking in this wonderful, like, African, like, English accent, kind of. It was very cool. Yeah, one of the things she said was like, you need to be a robot, just like the rest of us, right? I'm like, oh, do I really? That's really interesting. So yeah, it was interesting.
Very good.
Yeah, so it felt good just to stand there and feel that power, right?
Yes.
Like,
That's
you
so
can-
great, Laurie.
right?
That's
If she can choose to wear one, why can't I choose not to wear one, right?
Yes.
That's
Whatever.
brilliant.
That
Yeah.
is
So-
absolutely.
That's cool. Yeah, that was really cool.
I
Yeah,
love that.
I guess for me, like I haven't done that either, like totally not worn a mask in the store, but I'm kind of inching my way into it. So I enter the store without my mask and then I kind of fumble for it, you know, and eventually put it on. But I'm like, okay, like one of these times I could just forget about it and not do that. So right now my struggle is with my parents. Like I've tried to talk to them, you know, wee little things here and there, but you know, as soon as the word mask comes up, whether it's good or bad, right? My mom is very defensive, and so she just takes it really personally right away. So I'm like, I just do this for you, then I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to go through the motions, but yeah. So kind of balancing a little bit of both. But
Yes, and
that was good.
that's
Mhm.
what that's all about, right?
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I love that.
So thank you.
Anyone else?
I'll share.
Okay, thank you, Norma.
So that prepping in the car, I totally felt that in my solar plexus, just like tightening right up. And at first I named it anxiety, and then I realized it was fear. It was fear. And it was really hard to walk into the store. And then when my mean girl came along, she was so accusatory. And it was, you're the reason my kids can't see their grandma. You're the reason we're still all wearing a mask. People like you, blah, blah, blah. It was quite awful, actually, to be honest. And then when we did the, you know, standing in your power and stuff, and I've said this to people, and so it was my own words that were coming up, things that I've said to other people. But the biggest one is I refuse to be afraid of humanity. I refuse to be afraid of other people, because everybody's like, well, I don't think I'll ever go back to a concert. Well, I don't think I'll ever hug again. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't breathe, right? Like I refuse to be afraid of you. I'm not going to live my life like that. And yet there I am still wearing the mask to appease everybody. So that was interesting.
Beautiful, Norma. Thank you for that. Yes.
I will share.
Hey, Jen.
Definitely a shift in energy. I mean, I've been in the stores before, like at Superstore or whatever, and no mask, and nobody says anything to me. However, when I was there, I guess last week, somebody asked if they could provide a mask for me, and I said no, thank you, and I just walked on. So but the shift was interesting, you know, as I was meditating.
Bylaws and fines, and they're not real. It's all dream spell.
Yeah.
It's just a dream. It's just a spell.
Yeah.
That was something else she said. She was going to call the cops on me.
You know how to conjure up the heart.
Yeah, really.
Been doing the divine mind for a while now.
It's good. Those voices, those inner voices, are what
They're my own.
control us, right? Yeah. And so the more we become aware of those voices, and we're not afraid of those selves within us anymore, freedom, right? We begin to shift through, and we begin to see the veil begins to drop. We've been in a matrix. It's a prison matrix of the mind. Thankfully, people are waking up to it. We're going to be experiencing a whole new earth. But before we get there, the transition is going to be a little bit bumpy. Okay, everyone. Lots of love. Have an amazing rest of the week. Thank you.
Same to you, Karen. Thank you.
Good night. Thanks, Karen.
Night all.
Good night.
Bye, everyone. Take
Good
care.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.